Welcome into this edition of In the Pit with the Twin City News. I'm Tony Ballman, editor of the Twin City News, and this is your closer look at Batesburg-Leesville Panther football. And your Panthers started the season with a 21-0 victory last Friday night over Ridge Spring-Monetta, not too far up the road. It was a rain-shortened game as severe weather moved into the area, cut the game short in the third quarter, but nonetheless, a first W in the column for your Panthers. Here with a look back at that game is Coach Gary Adams.
Coach, Friday night, 21-0 win over Ridge Spring-Monetta, but it was a rain-shortened game. The lightning and the torrential rain came in and shortened that game. It was a win nonetheless, but do you wish you had played that one out on Friday night?
Well, unfortunately, with what we saw coming out of Augusta, both myself and Coach Smith talked about it, and it looked like we had a lot coming in. So we thought it was best to not hold the kids any longer that night. Unfortunately for the reps and for preparing ourselves for the next week, we really could have used some more reps and get more opportunities to run some more plays, but unfortunately, the weather came in and made us have to make a critical decision.
Now, in that atmosphere in the locker room, making that decision not to come back on Saturday when a lot of teams did come back and play it on Saturday, not to give too much away from behind closed doors, but what led to that decision to just say, let it rest as it is?
Well, Coach Smith was concerned about, having the same, myself as well, having the same results again on Saturday morning. If we tried to do it Saturday morning, and we definitely didn't want to have this to stem over into the following week with us preparing for two big games. So Coach looked at it and said, thought it was best that if we just go ahead and since Saturday looked as though it was going to be another repeat of Friday, let's just go ahead and call it.
Now, as you said, it would have been great to get a few more reps in, particularly coming up this week against Gilbert. What did you see on Friday night from this team against Ridge Spring-Monetta that you feel like you got to work on for the next 5 days?
Well, offensively, knowing our assignments. Up front, we had some mistakes that we really need to work on fixing. And then defensively, getting off the ball. I felt like we didn't fire off the ball nearly as well as we're capable of. And I don't know if it was because of the environment. The kids kind of got up for the game, and then there was a delay, and then and then you get out there and you start playing, and then I don't know. I felt like our kids just didn't play the same amount of intensity that we normally play with.
It looks like Ridge Spring-Monetta moved the ball through the air on you a good bit too. I mean, they got off quite a few passes on you. Is that something you feel like maybe you got to knock the loose ends off of too?
Yeah, our coverages, making sure that we understand exactly where we are supposed to be in our coverages, as well as getting pressure on the quarterback. We didn't get enough pressure on the quarterback, in my opinion, and that starts with firing off the ball on defense. I think a lot of the times it was reacting to what the offense was giving us instead of just going after the offense. I don't think we flew around nearly as well as we had been doing all the start of the season.
You've had some personnel assignment shifts too this year. Going into this year, have you felt like that those have dried in?
Yeah, we switched Keyshawn from quarterback to receiver, and I think Trey is doing a pretty good job at quarterback. We've switched some guys out. We moved Jamad to inside linebacker instead of outside linebacker. He's an undersized linebacker, but his heart, he plays with a huge heart, and he'll fly around to the football. And we still got a lot of younger guys that we're trying to see if they're going to be able to fit in and be able to be some key role guys to give some of the starters that are going both ways some time off. But and having we also switched our defense. We switched from a 3-man front to a 4-man front this year, and trying to get the kids to adjust and buy into the new 4-man front and really understand exactly what we expect out of them.
52-0 in the Sportorama, 21-0 over Ridge Spring-Monetta on Friday night. Do you feel like maybe you've silenced some naysayers who might have been looking at this program a little bit askance after a 5-7 season last year?
Not really. I mean, there's to me, I feel like, we still got a lot of work to do. And, with the mistakes and things that we've allowed to happen, those that truly know football know that we still have work to do. And, it's always good to come out and have a pretty good performance, but we still got a lot of work to do, so if people are not buying into Batesburg-Leesville, that's great. We got some work to still do to prove to people that we're ready to play football and ready to play the football that we're accustomed to here at Batesburg-Leesville.
That's this edition of In the Pit with the Twin City News, your closer look at Batesburg-Leesville Panthers athletics. I'm Tony Ballman, editor of the Twin City News. Join us on Wednesday for a look ahead to the Gilbert game right here on your Twin City News, community journalism since 1925.